often enough see the other side of what it's like to just stop and just quit and just give up. But not often enough do we see the side of success. Do we see the side of finishing through, of adapting and offering that continuation and that longevity when it's a year to 2 years, so on and so forth. We don't see that other side when it comes to our goals. Everyone, and I hope all of you have been doing well. I have been quiet in terms of social media lately, as far as my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, and my Facebook like page, and that it's an experience for sure. I miss doing this, and with that, I'm going to provide a bit of an update and a bit of a talk into the connections that's going on here. So I have come across some news and some life changes that my girlfriend and I are going to be getting planned for, and that whole process. And with that came some difficult information. It's not that I wanted to take this time away from everything, and I don't want this to be a big announcement or anything like that. I've just silently stepped back while I'm trying to process and keep up with a lot of different things, but I'm definitely glad to be here talking now. So, got some difficult news and have been taking the time to process while still trying to stay productive and motivated, right? And innovative, specifically. Because when you're trying to innovate, when you're trying to create, if you're starting in a path of entrepreneurship in some way, life doesn't stop, and it takes that level of discipline to still keep going in the areas. I have different areas of my life in which I'm involved in. My current long-term relationship aside, there is the occasion that I'm still talking to people from time to time, and then from there I have my full-time job, and then outside of that, part-time I'm driving with DoorDash, and part-time I am working on a couple of products to have out this summer, and then another product that I'm not really going to go into too much detail yet because there's still a lot that's in the works with that alone. And then there's also a couple of side jobs that I am in the process of getting up and going to accumulate income that way. So there's a lot of areas in which I'm involved in, and I want it to be a situation where I'm sharing as much as I can with you guys. And I know I need to get into the habit of doing more filming, just putting this raw footage out there for everyone to see, because this is what it is, right? This is what it is when you are trying to create something out of nothing, and when you are, trying to kick ass and put yourself out there, and with that, like I said, life doesn't stop, and, you have to really decide if the relationship that you're in, if you are in a relationship, if that is going to be sustainable during, all of your tasks that you need to be focused on in order to complete all your goals. My partner and I, right now we are both in separate rooms. They are in our bedroom, and they are attending a class for their schooling and everything. And then I'm in here in our office room, and I'm doing some work and getting to talk with all of you. But it's insanely important that you don't lose sight, that you still remain productive. The information that I got, the difficult information, to process and everything, it has fatigued me a bit, admittedly. And then there's, just a couple of other different things going on. And I'm being vague about that, right? Because, I don't want to share too much right now. But, I still had to find ways to keep up with it. And that's not easy to do. So you have to decide what's important to you. It's important to me to take care of myself. It is important to me to rest. But it is important of me to ensure that what I want to create and put out into the world is getting put out. And, the time, the effort, and the productivity there and everything with that is still being followed. You have to adapt the mindset that you can't quit just because things come up. You have to learn, how can you still be productive? How can you still be focused on your goals and practicing the behaviors to get yourself there while other things going on? You can't quit. If you slow down, you still have to keep going. And just keep in mind that whatever it is that you want to create will not be done unless you do it. It will not be done if you just sit there and think about it. I love the mindset that we we attract what we think about all the time, and to some extent that is true, but at the same time, it is also true that you can't just sit there and want $1 million. You can't just sit there and want financial stability. You have to do something to create that for yourself. You can't just sit there and want healthy relationships. You have to do something to obtain that. And so that, that's very serious and that's very real, and 90% of you are not going to watch this video all the way through. I am someone who's trying to create something out of nothing, and then in doing that, I'm trying to establish credibility, right? So I want to be as honest about this journey of everything that I'm doing, even in the moments when I am being vague, because I can't say so much. I want to be as honest as I can about all of that, and because it's possible. It is absolutely possible to have the life you want. It is absolutely possible to create something out of nothing. It is absolutely possible to do it. As cliche as it may seem, as awkward as it may feel, and the uncertainties that come about, it's still possible to do it. My upbringing was, I was born into a very dysfunctional and addictive household. And, with that came a lot of abuse and neglect and all of that. But at the same time of working through that, processing that, and understanding that that's not the life that I wanted, I now have this wonderful life that's only continuing to increase and progress in the ways that it is. And I'm continuing to learn, always are going to learn. And it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful experience, and I want that for all of you. I want all of you to understand that regardless of what you were born into, regardless of what has happened to you, you are in charge of your life, and you can make your life what you want it to be. I have been all across the board with a lot of my experiences. Period of my life where I was financially stupid. I've had the period of my life where just the different periods of not taking myself seriously, not taking life seriously, and starting to do that, asking the questions of how and why, and trying to understand what I was doing and how do I get myself out of it, and how do I get myself to where I want to be in life, has really set me up for this life. And it's because I put in the work, and I put in the effort, I put in the discipline, and it's cost me relationships, it's cost me free time. And as fun as this is to be on camera at times, and to be doing the editing and the uploading and everything like that, it is a lot. It is absolutely a lot. So it's work. It is work, but what is the work worth to you? What are the rewards worth to you? Ask yourself that. Make that decision for yourself, and then follow through with it. We often enough see the other side of what it's like to just stop and just quit and just give up. But not often enough do we see the side of success. Do we see the side of finishing through, of adapting and offering that continuation and that longevity when it's a year to 2 years, so on and so forth. We don't see that other side when it comes to our goals. See that side. Take the chance. Take the chance and find out what's waiting for you. Thank you.